Our recipe for today is lovely, light and crispy, non-greasy pakoras. I start with the batter mix, which is gram flour or chickpea flour. There's around 250 grams of that in there. I've got a teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda, some salt, a teaspoon of chili powder, turmeric, also cumin and garam masala. To this I'm going to add some yogurt and water, and then I'm going to mix them all up. Just adding 3 generous teaspoons of yogurt, and I'm going to now add some cold water.
How much?
Just going to add and feel the mix. It needs to be at the right consistency. So I've whisked up the gram flour mix and you can see the consistency, and I'm happy with that. If it's really thick, the batter ends up being a bit too stodgy. If it's too thin, it doesn't coat well enough and you don't get enough of the flavour. I've chopped up some coriander, which I'm now going to add. And then I'm just going to stir that in to the mix. So it's evenly dispersed, and then that's ready once the oil is at the right temperature. And the oil needs to be hot enough so that the pakoras rise up, get cooked and end up crispy, light and not stodgy. I've prepared some mushroom quarters, some fairly, medium thick slices of courgette, small florets of collie, some onion, which I'll just hold at the end, dip it in and lift up with a spoon and drop into the hot oil. These are my absolute favourites, mashed potato with spices and herbs, to make what we call in India batata vada. Absolutely love these. Reminds me of my mum. She used to make these and I just used to go crazy for it. And then when they're ready, they'll be served with a freshly made tomato coriander chutney, and I've got some leftover coconut chutney as well when I made some South Indian food the other day, so I shall serve that as well. So I'm just adding the courgettes, tested that the oil is at the right temperature, dip them in, drop them in, and it's as easy as that. As soon as I've popped the last one in, I shall turn them all around. They're going a lovely golden brown. They don't take very long at all to do. I shall drain them on the colander on top of the kitchen paper, pop them on my pizza tray, and then I'll continue with the mushrooms and cauliflower, then the potato balls, and finally the onion pakora, onion bhaji, however you want to describe it. One thing I have to say, this is an incredibly messy thing to do, but it is delicious. Right, out they're coming. And you can see they've puffed up beautifully. That's a function of the bicarbonate of soda. Just going to take them off the heat for a second and remove these little scratchings because I don't want them becoming black and burning and then spoiling the flavour of the rest of the pakoras. I'll pop them on there. Just coating the cauliflower florets, and then I shall pop them straight into the oil. Turning them over. Doesn't like being turned over, I'll have to force it down. They look beautifully golden and done to me, so I shall take these out. Once more, take the pan off the heat and remove these extra little scratchings, shall we say, before they ruin the oil. I'm popping the mushrooms in, just coating them all with my spoon. And then in they go into the hot oil. Two mushrooms, large to medium size, makes 8 pakoras. It's on a fairly high heat, but not the hottest heat. Start turning them over. They're ready now. Just popping the potato balls into the pakora batter. Just going to carefully turn them because I don't want to squish them. And now I'm going to lift them out and pop them into the oil. These are the most divine creations. My love of potato, I wouldn't change it for the world. I'm now going to put the onions in, and they will be my final pakora. A little bit tricky to do, but it's not that hard. Now they look almost done. They're quite big, so I want to make sure they're cooked all the way through. Beautiful golden brown. They're my guilty pleasure. And I'm going to serve them with my homemade tomato and coriander chutney, which I'll show you how to make in another video session. Quick how-to. They don't take long. Right, so I'm going to pop them out. Right, so I'm just going to mix that all in with pieces of sliced onion that has been quartered, and then I just grab a little handful at a time and drop it into the hot oil. Obviously being really careful not to touch the hot oil. I'm going to try it with a spoon. Sometimes that works better, or more easier, more easily. Final ones, I'm going to go back to my hands. Absolutely the last one. And there we are, done. Just turn them around. Dry my hands. They're going to be absolutely delicious and light, crispy and not stodgy in the least. Get rid of the little droplets, scratchings, while the pakoras are frying. And I think they're now ready to pop out. You can see which ones are ready, the ones that are darker in colour. They're the first ones I'm going to take out. Switching this off. And they're going to join the rest of the pakoras, which have been staying warm in the oven, whilst I add the fresh coriander to the tomato chutney. There we have the pakora selection. Pop them back in